Hi, my loves. Welcome to Alina's Alchemy. This is Alina. I'm an energy healer and an intuitive medium. And if you are new here or just passing, it's so nice to see you here. I welcome you. And for those of you who are not new here, welcome back, my loves. I appreciate you so much for being here every time. I really love doing these videos for you. So the other day I was out in nature recording a video with all of my gear, like camera, microphone, computer, and a young kid, like around 5 or so, came up and started screaming right next to me for a hot minute while the parents were just watching from the distance, and they were kind of laughing about it also among themselves. So I ignored the kid because, what am I supposed to do? It's a kid. It's not his fault. But because I was also in the middle of channeling, and I had recorded by that time like almost 20 minutes of channeled material that was now ruined by the screams, like, "Mama, what is she doing?" And I had to start all over again. So at some point, I called at the parents, a little bit bothered, to be honest. I went at them to tell them to fish their kid because I'm actually trying to work here, and he has caused me, bless his heart, but he has caused me to have to start all over again 5 times by now. And yeah, I kind of went at them because I sensed from the start as they walked in that they came extra close to me, even though this is a huge empty park, but they came and they were staring at me with a subtle intention to intimidate or shame me because I do something special. Like I am out, like, ooh, recording videos, like, what is she? An influencer? Actually, one of them said that, like, what is she doing? Like, is she an influencer? So this is typical North Rhine-Westphalia attitude of let's go make someone uncomfortable, which number one did not work for me because I am who I am. And number two, if you are German or you live in Germany, specifically in NRW, you know this is a very common attitude of the people here. Bless their heart, but they tend to try their best to annoy or to trash anything that is out of the ordinary in their world. Even things such as if you are dressed a bit nicely and you don't look completely homeless, this is enough for people here to want to subtly humble you. But they don't know that I'm Greek. They don't know that I've lived through hell. Like most of the people here have very safe lives, so they don't know who I am, where I come from, and they tend to underestimate me. And it always ends with them feeling embarrassed because in such cases I show up as a mirror to their intentions. And speaking of mirrors, I want to talk about the fact that it wasn't the interruption of the kid that bothered me and how the parents didn't give a damn while watching. It was the way the little boy spoke about me to his parents. It was dismissive. It was mocking. He was screaming next to me like, "Yeah, this dumb woman just talks and talks and talks and records all the time." And I had to stop myself and ask, like, where does a child that young learn that tone, that language, that energy? So I feel obviously children adopt the energy around them, even though parents refuse this is the case when their kid acts unpleasantly. They always act like they don't know where this come from. And I'm not a parent, but by healing my own childhood and working with thousands of kids as music teacher at schools, and I even did a music therapy in juvenile prisons at some point and schools with very challenging demographics, and observing and reflecting intuitively, I know that children embody truth before they're indoctrinated in adult mentalities. They embody and they reflect truth, and that's why we consider them rude when they speak without filter. But children are not born dismissive or sarcastic or shaming. They absorb, they adopt, they mirror. When a child speaks that way, it's usually because that's how the people in their home speak about others, about each other, to each other, even about themselves. But this is not happening outside in the public world where, the parents put on those perfect masks on. No, this is happening at home behind closed doors when people act out their subconscious, unconscious shadows in the safety of their homes. And if they are not doing the work to reflect on all of that, they may even ignore altogether how they actually act. and that therefore this is absorbed by their children. Then there's also the painful aspect of when a child speaks like that out loud in public. The parents pretend like it's coming out of nowhere. They might say, "Where did you hear that? Who taught you to talk like that?" And the truth is, you taught them. You just lack self-awareness, not necessarily teaching them that through direct instruction, but through the everyday energy of the home and how you are when nobody's watching. And there is the gaslighting of children. Like, this is something I personally experienced as a child growing up, and many of you did for sure. Personally, even at school and everywhere, I was constantly told I had a dirty mouth, or that I was speaking inappropriately, or that I was saying things because I wanted to provoke. But at the same time, people who said that, they were using those exact words that I was using behind closed doors, but in public, they pretended to be something else. And then they would say, "Where did you hear that?" As if I didn't live in the same house with them. So this is emotional gaslighting. This is why I want to address it. And it creates a rift in the child's reality, because children are being told that what they are observing, what they are absorbing and expressing isn't real. Why? Because it threatens the parents' public image. I have also seen this with children who are spiritually gifted, like children who see spirits, who sense energy and carry a deep emotional sensitivity that has them acting like channels to the energies around them. They don't act bad, they just channel what is around them. I used to know a child like this personally. He would see spirits in his room. He had vivid psychic impressions, so this kid is psychic AF and is picking up on big stuff from his environment. So pretending you don't know where his anger comes from, where his frustration or his meltdowns are coming from, when behind closed doors at home, maybe mom and dad are not on the same page on fundamental issues and there is tension. That's painting the kid as the problem, while all he does is showing these parents the dysfunction that they pretend is okay. But their kid is feeling that and is reflecting that back to them, that unsafety that they pretend is not dominating their private sphere. Like, the parents don't realize that the outbursts and the behaviors are not flaws, they are signals. The child is the emotional barometer of the house, and instead of listening to the child, they shame the child because the child reflects back the pain that they refuse to process because it's uncomfortable for them. So I want to say this loud and clear, you guys. Children are not the problem. Stop trying to discipline children and get your shit together. Sorry, I had to say it. The kids are the reflection of the problem. They are mirrors. And mirrors are uncomfortable, especially for people who are trying hard to hide parts of themselves without processing them, working them. That's why so many parents feel embarrassed or triggered when their kids act out in public, because the mask they wear, that perfect image, it starts to crack, and the child, in their innocence and their honesty, it's simply showing the truth of the home. So if a child is acting with anger or sarcasm or depression or emotional confusion, ask truly what's happening in their environment. What are they soaking in every day? What tone of voice? What beliefs? What emotional energy? And most importantly, what are they trying to reveal that no one wants to face? I know this is a very confronting topic. I see spiritual also parents being upset with me for saying this, but I believe children come into this world to help us heal, not just through their sweetness, but through their raw, unfiltered honesty. So next time a child acts out, ask, what truth are they carrying that the adults around them have been suppressing or avoiding? And to those of you who were silenced as kids, who were pathologized, who were told you were too much or too little or inappropriate, I see you. I was you. And I'm telling you now, you weren't broken. You were the mirror, and the mirror is sacred. So many children nowadays, I see them medicated. I see pathological labels stuck on them. whatever, that's maybe a topic for another video, but I just wanted to share this here with you guys. So I love you all very much, and I hope you're doing good other than that. And if you have energy still lingering into your life and into your system from childhood, where oppression of expression was prevalent, or even gaslight or even narcissistic abuse within the parental home, I have put together a webinar called Energy Sovereignty. You're going to learn there a lot about cords, energetic cords and hooks, and all sorts of interference that stays in our field long past what is appropriate after we leave the paternal home. And so if you want to learn how to clear all that stuff and get educated around that, I've put together this free webinar. You can find the link in the description below. And I have also put together an online course in case you want to go deeper. So I love you all very much, and I will see you soon again here, hopefully. Until then, stay well, stay safe, stay peaceful. Goodbye for now.